This is a new tutorial. I'd like to talk about using the project input mapping in the VR mode. So here, switch to the VR mode. I'd like to talk a little bit about how to set up the objects which you can grab and what is the logic behind all the blueprint. Okay. So first, I like to run this the VR through the side quest. I'll give you a little bit about first-person view, so you know exactly what I have seen. So here I will go ahead to trigger the installed app, which is the latest version of this project, already installed into the Quest 2. So let's take a look. Right. So here, when you get to the game, you can have the bugs which you can use in the side grip, which is this guy on the side, to pick it up and drop it, pick it up and drop it. But also I created this kind of like a ragdoll, which is this T-post human figure. You can actually look around, pick it up, and then you can put it down. As soon as you put it down, it has this kind of weird ragdoll uh, physics, which will kind of put this boy in a kind of like a toy. Okay, you can pick it up and put it on. Okay, so this is basically something I like to talk quickly how to understand the grip to drag to pick up objects, and also how to set it up with a customized object. Okay, so this is let me exit first because I don't want this one keep running. Using the face button, the Oculus button to create. Okay, all right. Then let's close this. Let's talk quickly how this is done through the VR template. So first thing you want to take a look at is this cube, right? Well, let's take a look at this VR palm first. So here is the browse. Right? You can see the VR palm here. Double click. You can see a bunch of blueprint. Today I'm not gonna talk about every single details, but it's pretty straightforward. You can see some comments here, how the blueprint is set up in order to trigger the movement snap turn. This is exactly the same thing as we have discussed in the last tutorial, the input mapping. So for example, the snap turn is triggered by left axis, right? So this is in the input axis, which you can see in the project settings and go to input, right? And you can see exactly all the logics has been mapped here in multiple different devices, right? They are actually being dragged here and then create this logic to trigger. And for example, for teleport, we know the teleport is mapped to movement axis right Y, so this is the one. If you really look at movement axis right Y, so here, back here, right, is in a movement, right, axis right Y. So this is all the devices has been mapped into this logic. So you have the mixed reality, this is from Microsoft, you have Oculus, you have Vive. In the future, there's maybe more manufacturers. You can add in all of their logic directly into this, right? So you don't have to worry about are you using a Vive, are you using Oculus, they should all work. It's really, really convenient. Even in the future, if you want to make the teleport being triggered by another, hand, by the left hand, you can actually literally just adding a new axis mapping, then you can link to the right trigger. Right? We don't want to do that. We just want to keep everything as a default. So I want to show you the grab. The grab has actually two. One is the grab right and the grab left. Right. So each of them is sort of identical. Grab left. So this is basically the input. Grab left. Then if you go here, you can take a look at grab left. Right. So here's a grab axis left. this is grab axis left. Let me see. Yeah, here's grab left. Okay, so make sure you have this, all class being a part of it. So left grip, right? Grab right is right grip, right? So this is how this is being triggered. By the way, if you don't understand the terminologies, this means side grip button, and front, this means front trigger. Right? So we have a different name, front trigger. And the buttons on the surface, we sometimes call this face button. So you have button A, button B, right? You have the axis, which is a knob. You can have X and Y, push up and down is Y, left and right is X. And also you have this all class button. I think this one is a pre-programmed. You cannot really change it. But for the right button, for the left hand, you have this menu button. This one can be programmed in BP. Plus, have the trigger, you have the grip, you have the face button. The face button is called X and Y. So this could be confusing. Sometimes when you talk about the knob, X and Y means you push forward, backward, right and left. But also you have the face button called X and Y. So it could be confusing. By the way, I think the knob you can also push down. So besides forward, backward, left, and right, you can also push down. This has been used to trigger something. So there's many ways you can use the motion controller to do really cool stuff. All right, so back to this VR Pong. We know the grab left, right? We're using the grip button on the side to trigger this, right? Then it's sending something to the grab component near the motion controller, and then you have some logic to decide if this is overlapped with object or not. Then eventually it will trigger a function to grab. Okay, so this is the kind of the logic for each. You don't really have to dive into the BP because I think this is already well done. There's no reason you have to rewrite the code. Okay, and there is some kind of complicated functions. For example, try grab, and here is actually the function there. So here's the teleport. Where is the try grab? I think it's one of the functions here, but let me right click and then choose find the reference. Then you can see there's two of this used. Oh, okay, so this is actually a function in the grab component. Well, if you understand what is a grab component, is actually this file. Grab component is a BP class. It might sound a little bit confusing, but let me do this. I will right click and I will show you the reference view, which is basically show the relationship between different files, right? Reference viewer. So you can see, yeah, this is probably even more confusing. This is grab component is a BP script, which you can attach to multiple actors. For example, the cube, which you can pick it up, and also the weapon, you can pick it up. They all have some kind of connection to this component. And also this component has connection to the other actors. So for example, this has been used for the grab type, BPI, and as well as grab haptic effects, which will give you the vibration. Okay. So let's take another look. If I close this, I will take a look at the cube. Right click, right, choose reference viewer. You can see the cube is of course associated with a static mesh, right? But also it has a connection to this grab component, right? So that's the reason this cube you are able to pick it up, right? Also, this cube has been used in multiple maps. So this is a test 0, 1, 2, some template map. So it's really nice. You can actually see the relationship of these objects, these files. If you take a look at, for example, the VR Pong, which is a character, right? We render all the interactions. If you show the reference viewers, you can see this one has a lot of connections to multiple components. And some components actually host the additional BP script, right? So it's a uh, really complicated relationship. And this one is referenced into the game mode. Okay, so you don't really have to know all the details. I want to just show you how to set up some object. You can pick it up. Okay, so the easiest way you can start is actually using this existing cube, which if you roll over is actor, right? It's a BP class actor. So what that means is if you double click inside this actor, you have number one, F to fit in. You have the static mesh, which is this box, the cube. And also under the cube, the children, you have this grab component. So in Unreal, you can make another file actor as the children of existing actor. So by adding these children into this hierarchy, you automatically inherit functions from it. So it's really convenient. Okay, you don't have to uh, do programming directly here. You can just using the grab component, which has all the programming. If I want to show you the grab component, if you open it, you have all the logic, all the functions embedded here, right? So it's more efficient. But again, you don't really have to change anything in this grab component. All right, so I will show you how to do this from scratch. So I want to make another object on the table. I'm able to pick it up, right? So the easiest way is I can right click and duplicate. I want to duplicate the cube. I will give another name. I think a grab. I would say just a status or sculpture. So I would say a sculpture. I want to do a human sculpture. So sh sculpture human, whatever name you think is makes sense. So you have this duplicated identical file, right? Just different name. Then I can double click. And here it has all the logic inherited static mesh. Right now is a cube. So what I want to do is swap the cube to something else. Simple like that. So you can do some search which object you like. I would say if you want to do a static mesh, maybe we can using this one. So really, if you browse to asset, this is a static mesh, right? There's no bones, no skeletal information on this couple. So it's called SM couple 12. That's the name. So in order to use it into my grab sh, right? I can just make sure you select this. Then you can go to the static mesh, and then you can just simply choose load or use, right? It's basically using the whatever the selection you have, then load it here. Another way is you can just click drop down and then you search the name SM couple 12, then you can find this static mesh. So now if you go to viewport, right, now you have this kind of new look, is this right here. So if you do compile, save it, you're done. Then I can simply go back to on the table. Maybe I will just put this status right on the table. So the way I did is in where I put the sorry, I have to go to the VR Pong folder. Yeah, I think I put this grab sh into this folder. So it's a good idea you drag it into a folder belongs to you, so you not get confused. So I will drag and drop, choose move here. Okay, no duplicate. So I moved this new actor, this called grab sh, into my new folder. Then I will put it on the table. They're actually not too big. That's good. But it's maybe a little bit too big for sculpture. So I will go ahead change the scale to I don't know 0.1, okay, or maybe 0.2. I logged the XYZ, so they are the same. All right, so I have this new status, new sculpture put on the table. Okay, you're done. To really testing this, I just want to mention another thing is make sure this static mesh, because we inherit everything from the original cube, right? But I do want to highlight a little bit. So first, this one has a collision. So it's able to generate overlapping events. So that's very important. Another thing is in the physics, right? Just make sure it simulates physics. What that means is if you drop down these statues, it will fall to the ground. You could disable this if you do want to make sure the statues can be floated in the air, which is possible if you want to create like an interior design kind of scenario, right? You can put stuff on the wall, you can reorganize objects, even make a ceiling totally customized. You could disable the physics, so that means the objects can be put into any place, even floating in the air. If you drop it, it will stay there, not falling down. So I will leave that to you. For me, I will simulate the physics, so it will falling down if you drop it. Okay, so that is the feature I want to highlight. All right, so we're done. We save it. Then I will show you another one is you could actually create a skeletal mesh as something you can pick it up, right? In this case, this is actually the one I created earlier. If I double click, you can see this is not a static mesh, it's a skeletal mesh. It's referenced back to the boy who has all the joints, all the bones. So in this case, if you do set up the physics as simulate physics, so whenever you drop the boy's bone, I mean, it will behave like a ragdoll. So that is the term ragdoll with the simulation. If you don't want this simulation be kind of like a real ragdoll, you can uncheck, right? So the boy will kind of always keep the T pose. I can actually show you if you uncheck this, and let's make sure we compile that. Because we time to compile, save everything, make sure we compile. Right, each time we make some change, you need to compile. So the boy will keep as the kind of T pose. So now if I play, of course I can't really show in the VR mode. So let me just temporarily switch to first person BP, so you can at least see the boy. He will not falling down. See, it keep as a T pose, right? But in the future, if I do wanna um, grab TM, if I check the simulate physics, compile, save, and play, right? You see the boy immediately falling down even to the ground. So this is called ragdoll. Okay. Um, all right. I think that's basically the difference. Well, in my opinion, maybe we can disable the physics because that's not really a strong reason we want to do a ragdoll, right? In our ArcWiz project. However, I want to add animation to it. So this skeletal mesh will have some, looping animation. In that case, I can go to animation mode, right? I can choose animation asset. Then I can, choose whatever animation I already have. I have a dance animation. Um, I probably want to just not make him walk, um, move too far away. So let's do the wave. So he will keep animating using this animation, and there's no simulated physics. So he can be picked up, he can be put in the middle of air. So let's go ahead and test play. Yeah, you can see this boy will keep looping. And if I use the motion controller later in the game, I should be able to pick him up and put into any place I like. Okay, so it's not a ragdoll anymore. I think this is probably better. Again, this could be used for rearrange furniture, right? You can pick a furniture, you can put and drop into another place. So let's go ahead. I will go ahead compile into a game, and then I will show you in the next step. Right? I think I forgot to add. Maybe I should show you how to I made this from scratch because this one is not a static mesh, right? So it's actually pretty much the same thing. So first, you just simply right click whatever existing cube you have. Maybe I will start with a cube. That's easier. I don't want to confuse you guys. So here, if I duplicate, right, I know I'm going to do a grab. I want to do animated, you know, human. So A H. Then I drag it into TM, move it there, right? So you have this grab animated human. So here I don't really need this static mesh, the cube anymore, right? I want to do a human. So in this case, I will just drag, um, you know, animated skeletal mesh into my grabbable human actors. So the quick way to do that is first this I forgot where this boy come from. So if I go to browse, right, you can see this is the skeletal mesh. I think this is probably the only one I have. So let's just using this one. This one is a low poly. Um, okay. So for this skeletal mesh, again, if I double click, you can see it has all the geometries. It has all the bones, right? Every single bones here. I don't really need the bones actually. If you don't want to animate this, but in the future you can do just a static, like the couple. But for me, I will just okay with whatever, right? Skeletal mesh here. So you can simply, what is the best way? Let me make this window floating. It's a little bit hard to drag. So I will drag this skeletal mesh and drop into my grabbable, pickupable, just drag and drop. So the boy will just come in, right? So now let's make it as a full screen. You have the boy skeletal mesh as a children of the static mesh, which I don't really need. So I will drag the boy up one level. So the boy became the parent, right? And this grabbable component, you can actually delete if you want to, I will show you from scratch, delete this too. So you have the boy right here, right? To make the boy be able to pick it up, you will add, and you can see this is called a grabbable component. So you can just search the name. You can add this component, which is the another independent actor as the children of the current one. So the boy now has these inherited functions. You can pick it up. That's it. For this hierarchy, you don't really need this root node. So in my opinion, can you really? Oh, you can. You can replace the root, but I think this is good. So you have the root here, you have the boy, and you have the grab component. Just make sure they follow the logic. And here for the boy wave, depends on if you want to have animation or not. You can, adding this in, which is right here. If I want to use animation asset, I can do maybe walking, right? So it's not really walking, but anyhow, and then I make sure you want to, you know, trigger the simulation of physics, right? So here there's a couple of settings you have to check. So first, do you want to simulate physics? If I don't want to ragdoll, I probably don't check this option. So this is really up to you. For the collision, just make sure you have to check this option. It generate overlapping events. If you don't do it, you are not able to trigger the overlapping. And also for the collision preset, you have to, by default is no collision. You have to set up this. I forgot which one we did, but you can just using the, ragdoll is one of option. I think you can just do the physics actor, which has all the physics. Let me double check. I want to actually compare this to the cube. So we can use this one too in a collision setting. Okay. Uh, yeah, we did physics actor. We didn't check this option, overlapping events. Okay. But let me see the cube. I just want to make sure we have exactly the same settings, right? So in the physics, Okay. Okay, so this one is a little bit different because it doesn't have the skeletal mesh. So the yeah, is a little bit different. Oh, sorry, I pick up the wrong selection. So here, static mesh collisions. Yeah, you see, I do check the generate overlapping events. So let's make sure we match exactly with this one, because I think maybe there's something to do with it. So I will check overlapping events for my new, for this guy, and also for the, you know, static, I already have this for the couple, and for this standing, weaving, I want to make sure you check this as well. Okay, so we have all three set up. Let's save all. All right, and since we have this as a new one, so why not we just put it here too? And we want to make the scale, I don't know, 0.1 maybe. Okay, that's tiny, 0.2. Okay, so we have a bunch of objects we can pick up. I just want to make sure they are not too close to each other. This will causing some troubles if you are not, be able to identify which one is overlapping with another. So we have, one, two, three, four objects there. I just want to double check for each of these. I did not check. I mean, for the skeletal mesh, I did not check the simulate physics because I don't want this behave like a ragdoll. So in that case, make sure in a collision, yeah, this is all right. And in the physics, yeah, we do not check the simulate physics. Okay, that's good. All right, let's save all. And then I will go ahead, compile this into a new game. And then I will show you the result after. Okay. All right, so I have compiled the whole thing. Then I will run the side quest. I'm going to just do a quick stream so you can see what I see. Okay, let me see if let's pop it up. All right, so now I'm in the game. I'm able to, navigate. Oh, I should just go back to the front. And you can see a bunch of objects there on the table. I can definitely using the side grip, right? Pick up the box. This looks good. For this couple, right, the statues, I can pick it up. They all looks pretty real. It also because it has this level of detail, LOD control, so it's actually looks really nice. Even it's getting closer to my camera. I can put, drop it. It just behave like a status, right? Okay. So for the skeletal mesh, is a little bit different. I see these two animated boy. I can pick the boy, but because it's not really a static mesh, and I disconnected the physics, right? So if I drop, you see the boy will actually floating in the air, just like as what I have said. So this could be a way. Again, it depends on what you want to do with it. You can use it as a way to reorganize the environment. So this could be, you know, uh, the boy on top of the box. Uh, I don't think you can. Can you really put this in? No, they are a little bit fragile, but you can do some weird interactions. The same thing for this boy, because I didn't trigger the simulate physics. So again, the same thing. I can make him floating. There's actually no really of physics. So these two boys could actually overlapping from each other. There's no problem to do so. You can put in any positions you like. Okay, so it's not really physics. But for this one, if I drop it, right, it will put falling on the ground. Same thing for this box, you falling on the ground. Okay, so hopefully I think this is a good tutorial. You understand now which options you have when you deal with something you can grab, um, you can reorganize. Okay, so we'll exit the game. Quit.